What if I told you the very advice that you've been following from the biggest names in personal development is actually the reason your coaching business isn't growing? Now, I'm talking about that same advice that helped millions of people feel motivated, take action, and level up, but somehow you're still stuck, still undercharging, still chasing clients, still wondering why your income doesn't match your effort. So here's the real question. If the advice works, why isn't it working for you? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why mainstream success advice, especially from big names like Tony Robbins, doesn't actually work for coaches, consultants, and experts trying to build a high ticket business. And more importantly, I'm going to show you the exact system that you should be using instead to consistently attract high paying clients, automate your business, and finally hit those 10K, 20K, 30K plus months. And if we haven't met already, hi, my name is Heather Blaze. I help coaches, consultants, and experts in the financial space, the relationship space, the wellness space, all those places build automated, systemized businesses that consistently bring in high ticket clients without burnout. And I just target women, focus on women because I just feel like there's just not that dedicated help just for women. Most of it's geared towards those men out there. And all right, so I'm not here to give you fluff. I'm not here to hype you up for 5 minutes and leave you hanging. I'm here because I've been exactly where you are. I've been confused. I've been overwhelmed, consuming everything, trying strategy after strategy, and still not seeing real traction. But once I cracked that code, once I stopped following generalized advice and started building systems tailored to my expertise, everything changed. Okay. And now I help my clients do the exact same thing using the exact same systems, create predictable income, freedom of time, and a business that actually works for them. And so here's what we're going to cover in today's video. First, I'll show you why generalized advice like Tony Robbins feels good, but doesn't translate into real business results for coaches, consultants, and experts. And then we'll break down the biggest mistakes that coaches make when trying to apply that advice to their business. And then after that, I'll walk you through the exact 3-step framework that you need to turn your expertise, your unique expertise, into a high ticket client generating machine. And finally, I'll give you a powerful perspective shift, okay, that could completely change how you approach building your business from today forward. Okay, so let's start off with the first part, why Tony Robbins advice doesn't work for coaches. Tony Robbins is brilliant. I've been to many of his events, I've taken his courses. You walk out of there feeling 10 feet tall. Like he's amazing. He's brilliant. His work has changed millions and millions of lives. But here's the truth most people won't say is that his advice is designed for the masses. Okay, not for your specific business. Every business is different. You're different. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, your experiences in life are so unique to you, and then your overall arching vision of what you want your business to actually look like, those are so specific. Yeah, there's standard foundational things for any business, there's standard framework for any business, but those unique things about you and who you are and what you offer and what you ultimately want to achieve for yourself and your clients is completely different than anyone else in the world. It's like going to a doctor and instead of diagnosing you individually, they stand on this stage and say, everyone here drink more water, exercise, and think positively. Okay. Yeah. Everybody knows to do those things. Is that helpful though? Yeah, sure. Everybody knows to do that. And if they don't, okay, I guess that is helpful for a doctor to say that. But is it enough to solve your specific problem? Absolutely not. So that's exactly what's happening in your business. You're consuming advice that's so broad. It might be motivational, inspiring, but not strategic and specific or customized to you. Does that make sense? Imagine trying to drive to a destination, but instead of typing in your exact address, you just swipe in somewhere successful. Right? That's what following generalized advice looks like. You're moving, you're doing something, you feel productive, maybe busy, but you're not actually getting where you want to go. So the next part of what we're talking about today is it's the hidden problem, right? You're not being coached. That's the problem. So it's a hard truth. But when you invest in big programs or follow big names like that, you're not actually being coached, you're being taught. See the difference? There's a massive difference. So teaching, it's here's what works in general. Coaching is here's what works for you specifically. And most coaches don't realize this. They just think if I just consume more, learn more stuff, try harder, go around on YouTube, watch more videos, all this kind of stuff, eventually it'll click. Right. And I'm trying to learn how to grow my YouTube channel and stuff like that. And I'm watching videos on YouTube and I'm going to looking at information everywhere too. But I know that until I hire somebody to actually show me the way, right, coach me to actually do it, it's going to either take forever or it's not going to happen at all. It could happen because I'm pretty smart with these things and I know how a lot of these things work, but I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in that. If I hire an expert, I can shave off so much time. It's like them handing me the code to the safe versus me just trying to listen and crack that code myself, right? Like, it would take me forever to figure it out. So I know that's something I'm gonna probably want to invest in to save me time, right? I just have to make sure that's what I actually want. Do I wanna focus on that? Do I wanna focus on this? And when do I wanna focus on these things, right? So same thing with business. People hire me for the same reason. I hand them the code to the safe. I hand them, "Here's the code to open up that safe," and then you got money coming in for what you're offering versus them trying to figure it out on their own. And 50% of business owners do succeed. They do figure out how to put a successful business together. 50%. And guess how long it takes? 3 to 5 years for those 50%. What happens to the other 50%? They don't ever figure it out. They get overwhelmed, they get burnt out, and then they quit. So let me ask you this. How many courses have you taken? How many videos have you watched? How many strategies have you tried? And yet you're still not where you want to be. At some point, you have to ask, is it me or is it the approach? So I worked with a client, let's call her Mia. She was a wellness coach, incredible at what she did, life-changing results for herself and for her clients. But her business, completely inconsistent, of course, before she worked with me. She had taken course after course, she had certification after certification. It's another thing that a lot of my clients have. Some of them don't have anything, they just start from nothing. Some have all these certifications and still can't figure it out. They followed every big name, or Mia did, and implemented everything she could, right? Funnels, content, ads, offers, but guess what? Nothing stuck. And why do you think that is? Because none of it was built around her, around who she was, around her knowledge, her wisdom, her expertise. Her message wasn't clear. Her offer wasn't specific. Her system wasn't aligned. She was trying to plug herself into someone else's blueprint, and it just didn't fit. All right, let's move on to part 3, and this is the real solution. So your business needs to be built around you. Obviously, that's what I've been talking about this whole time. And this is where everything changes, right? If you want consistent high ticket clients, you don't need more information, you need integration. You need to take everything that you already know, okay, your experience, your story, your results, and turn it into a clear, structured system that solves a specific problem for a specific person. It's so important. Okay. Everybody thinks, oh, but if I do that, I'm going to leave all these people out and da da da. It's the opposite. You have to narrow it down so specifically so that you know the exact words to use that are going to resonate deeply to get somebody to buy from you, to get that ready to buy person that's out there looking for you that just can't find you. And if your message is off or anything, if you're not clear on that one specific problem for that one specific person, your messaging isn't going to land and they're just going to go on to the next thing because there's so much information out there, whether you're posting, whether you're running ads, no matter what you're doing. That has to be dialed in first. And then once that's dialed in and you've got that specific person, then you can go to the next person or the next person or the next person, right? You don't have to leave anybody out, but you have to build this path to lead that person that's out there looking for you and your solution to you, right? And if you build it out wrong, it's just not going to work. So here's the 3-step framework. I want to break this down for you so that you understand this, okay? 3 steps. Step 1, extract your unique expertise. Most coaches undervalue what they know. You think, It's too simple, but it's not true. Your lived experience, your journey, your breakthroughs, that is gold. It's gold. This other client that she's an expert. She's been helping people for, oh shoot, was it 28 years, 38 years? A long time. She is so good at what she does, but she just didn't understand the value of what she does. She was dealing with insurance companies and nightmare and 60 bucks an hour, was barely getting anybody to show up. Once I helped her bring up all her expertise, her out of her so she could actually understand it and really believe it, she could see how what she was charging wasn't enough, and we raised her price to $3,000, and then people just started buying it like crazy. That wasn't even enough. It was actually priced too low. She should have been charging about $5,000 for the results that she gets for her clients. But she was happy with 3,000, and she got client after client and really helped them get the results that they were looking for, because then they had that vested interest in what they were doing too. They showed up, they listened to her, they implemented what she told them to do, and she got amazing results for them. And then everybody was happy. She got paid what she was worth. They felt good because they invested and got the results that they wanted and felt like that was a bargain as well. All right. So then the key is to package it into this repeatable process. So you don't have all these random tips. It's not just scattered advice, it's a clear transformation. Okay, that's step one. Step two is building that premium offer around the outcomes. Like I said, the results, right? What do those people want? People don't pay for information, they just don't. They pay for the results. So instead of saying, I help with mindset or I do coaching sessions, nobody wants that. You position it as, I help you go from X to Y in Z time. Okay. Very clear, very specific, very powerful. And this is where high ticket clients come from. Okay. And then let's move on to step three. Or if you aren't understanding what I'm saying, ask a question in the comments and I'll be happy to answer that for you. All right. Step three. This is systemizing your client acquisition. So remember, I was talking about building that path, right? So this is where most people fail. They rely on posting and hoping, or they rely on just random DMs or inconsistent content. Instead, you need a predictable system, a predictable process, right? To get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you consistently. A way to attract the right people, a way to nurture them, and then to convert them consistently. Okay. And this is where automation, messaging, and positioning come together. So let's talk about the tailored suit. I like this one. Trying to use generalized advice to build your business. Okay. Is like wearing a suit tailored for someone else. Can you see that? It might look good on them, but on you, it feels off. It feels uncomfortable. It doesn't fit, right? What you need is a suit tailored specifically for your body, your strengths, your message, your market. And then it just all ties together. It all flows. It all feels good. It all just works seamlessly. All right. Part four. The truth that most people avoid is, and it's uncomfortable, you can figure this out on your own. Like I said, 50% eventually do figure it out after years of trial and error, after years of wasted time, burnout, or like I said, you can collapse time, get clarity faster. When you get stuck, get answers really quick, build smarter, scale sooner. And the question is, how much longer are you willing to stay stuck? Because if you are, again, reach out. You put it in the comments or find me on Instagram or Facebook, or I'm all over the place, wherever. And let me know, because I'll point you in the right direction. If I can't help you, I'll point you in the right direction. And let me give you something most people won't talk about. This is called the invisible ceiling problem. So even if you do get clients, you'll hit a ceiling if your business isn't systemized, because you'll burn out, you'll cap your income, or maybe feel overwhelmed. Okay. Like I had a client who was making around 3,000 per month consistently, not bad, but not where she wanted to be. Once we refined her offer, clarified her messaging, built a system, like a simple automated system, she hit her first 12K month in less than 90 days. Same person, same skills, different system. That's the difference. Okay. And in my next video, I'm going to break down exactly how to build a cash calendar so you can predict your income months in advance instead of guessing every single month. So, if this is resonating with you, if you're realizing that maybe it's not that you're not capable, it's that you've been following the wrong strategy, then here's what I want you to do next. And finally, if you want the exact blueprint that I use with my clients to help them hit consistent 10K to 30K months, I've created a free training for you. It breaks down how to create your high ticket offer, how to attract premium clients, how to automate your business. And if that's sounds like something that you want, then go ahead and click that link in the description and get instant access. But don't wait, okay? Because the longer you delay, the longer you stay stuck. So let's bring this home. And today we talked about why generalized advice doesn't work for your coaching business, why trying to apply it keeps you stuck, and what you actually need to do instead. You need to have a system. You need a system that's built around you. So remember this, you don't need more information. You need the right structure, the right strategy, and the right support. So your next level isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And in the next video, I'm also going to show you exactly why expertise matters and what doesn't. All right. I will see you there. Talk to you soon.